Frege, like other scholars we have covered, objects to the idea that existence is a predicate or quality that God can possess or lack. Frege objects to this idea from a mathematical perspective. The idea behind this argument for Frege is that he looks at what numbers are and compares them to a concept like existence. It is an analogy of sorts that shows us if we understand numbers and existence in the same way, we can see that neither of these can be treated as predicates or properties of an object. For example, if you look at the two statements, what difference can you see? In the first statement, there is no real information given about the horses. We know that there are 4 of them, but we know nothing about their properties. 4 here tells us nothing of the characteristics the horses may possess or lack. However, in the second statement, we do know something about the horses. We know that they are thoroughbreds, which tells us a characteristic or property of them. Frege here distinguishes between 2 different kinds of predicates, which he calls first-order and second-order predicates. In the first-order predicate, we can see that they are specific to individual objects. In the case of the king's horses, we know that thoroughbred is a first-order predicate. Not all horses possess this characteristic, but these ones do. In the case of second-order predicates, these are more general. They don't necessarily apply to the objects themselves. So this begs the question, is existence, or the number 4 in the case of the king's horses, a second-order predicate? Well, maybe. Second-order predicates tell us about concepts, and so the idea of there being 4 horses, or something existing, might be treated as a second-order predicate. Frege's point, then, is this. Anselm and Descartes treat existence as a first-order predicate, whereas actually it might be better seen as a second-order predicate. If this is the case, it is not possible to say that the specific object God exists. However, Frege goes on to point out that even if we treat existence as a second-order predicate, we have difficulties. As a second-order predicate, we still have no greater understanding of God or the horses if we say that there are 4 or that God exists. It therefore cannot be used as a predicate or property of an object if it gives no information about it. Frege also points out a paradox that arises if we start treating existence as a first-order predicate. A predicate is a property of something. This means that an object can possess or lack that property. In the case of this example, if I say Venus has 0 moons, I am ascribing a property, 0, to a non-existent object, a moon. If 0 or any other number is a predicate, then an object can lack it, but to lack that quality, it would have to exist. If existence is a predicate that God can lack, then he would have to exist to lack the quality, and that is paradoxical.